All right, this is SAT Prep. We're doing test 3, section 3, and this is number 9. So we have a system of equations here, kx minus 3y equals 4 and 4x minus 5y equals 7. In the system of equations above, k is constant and x and y are variables. For what value of k will the system have no solution? Okay, so this is a little tricky, and all of these are ugly values of k, right? But basically, here's the idea. If they're the same equation, right? So if they're exactly the same equation, then there are infinite solutions. Okay, but if the ratio, essentially, so let me show you what I mean by that. So let's say I had, so just as an example, right? Let's say I have 2x plus 5y equals 10, and 4x plus 10y equals 20. These are actually the same equation, right? Because if you just double this, multiply by 2, you get this equation. Oh, hey, that's the same equation. So there's infinite solutions, okay? But if they have the same, like, if we call this ax plus by equals c, right? If they have the same a to b ratio, but the c's, right? So like if the c's aren't the same. So see how this was 2 to 5, right? And I got a 10, right? Or rather, so you could even think about this like a, b to c ratio is the same. Like if you look at 4 to 10 to 20 is the same ratio as 2 to 5 to 10, right? So if they have the same a-b ratio, but not the same a-b-c ratio, like c is the wrong number, then these things are not going to be the same values. The easiest way to do this is to essentially multiply to get the y's to be exactly the same, right? So if I treat this, if I multiply this guy by 5 and I multiply this guy by 3, what's going to happen is I'm going to get 5kx minus 15y equals 20, right? And I'm going to get 12x minus 15y equals 21, right? So if these ratios, if 12 to negative 15 is the same ratio as the 5k to the negative 15, right? But these numbers aren't the same, which they're not, then I'm going to have no solution. So essentially, if 12 equals 5k, I will have no solution. So 12 over 5 is my k, and that's answer A. This is a really hard problem for most people, right? So the only way to see this, right? So the only way to see this was essentially to get the 15s to be the same. Notice that these are not the same. So we want these to be the same. We want these to be the same. But we want these to be different, right? And so in order for there to be no solution, the x's have the same coefficient, so 5k has to be the same as 12, the negative 15s for the y coefficient, and then the constant is not the same. And that's kind of the gist. So that would be an example of something with no solution. There's no really good way, since it's a non-calculator section, there's no really good way to cheat on that one. It's a pretty hard question.